Oke, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So it's back with us again, full team. Yay! Alhamdulillah. So today, hopefully, we will have a happy discussion because we're gonna talk about happiness, right?
Yes.
So for those of you who just joined or like watched the first video from our channel, so my name is Isna Madina Wadda. Some call me as Anggita. I'm the director of Madina Forum, and here with me are.
I'm Farah Dita Safitri, and people usually call me Farah.
I'm Fidelina Mafuda, and people usually call me Fida.
And I'm Famita Wijayanti, and people usually call me Famita, and I'm a college student.
Yeah. So yeah, you just finished your internship.
Yes.
Yay! So in a few episodes, Famita couldn't join us because she's doing her internship for one of her semesters, compulsory internship. Okay. So talking about the subject itself,
Yes.
is life really about being happy? So that is the question. And why we brought up this topic because coming to after talking about like New Year's resolution, about how to hold on to our resolution, I think one and also talking about the purpose of life. I This is something that I often think about because of the a lot of like promotions about you need to be happy for other people to be happy.
Yeah.
So we have a bit of a renovation going on. Is
Yeah.
it? Is it coming in? So yeah. So since we cannot control the situation, so this is what it is. We're going to try as much as possible not to speak. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is the time where we speak. Okay. So talking about happiness, I come up with the idea of the topic because I continuously think about all of those promotions about you need to be happy first before you can make other people to be happy. You cannot rely your happiness to other people, blah 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 and everything. There are a lot of jargons like that. And then I come to think, and then I have a lot of explanations from wiser people based on the Quran. Actually, we have a purpose in life. So when doing those things, one of the things that can hindrance us of being successful or achieve valuable things is actually the mindset of like or dislike. So it's basically we do things that we like and we don't do things that we dislike. We are in the state of unhappiness when we dislike things that we have to do, and we are in a state of happiness when this is a common perception. I
Yeah.
think I don't know. Maybe you can like comment on if it's not the common perception. I think this talking about this promotion of happiness creates this misconception that we live to be happy. So is it or not? Because having the continuous feeling that we are pursuing happiness, in a way it confirms that we are always in a state of unhappiness.
Yeah.
Which is, for me myself, I think that's not a good condition. So let's talk about this, right? So what about your perception? Have you ever think about like, yeah, why do we have to be happy? Have you ever thought about that? Or are you one of those like, okay, I need to find my happiness wherever I am? Okay.
Yeah, I think if we can start with the definition of happiness itself, I think what I feel and what I see is like when we feel happy, we feel comfortable and we feel at peace. And I think when we're happy, we tend to do like positive things, and it's like a fuel for us to do some productive things, positive things. Yeah, I think that's the things that I know about being happy or happiness itself.
Okay.
And if I refer back to my past experiences, happiness is when I feel happiness is when I feel content, when I don't have any worries or problems, and I can fulfill all my needs. This is what happiness has been in my life. So wherever I, have problems or have some responsibilities that I have to finish, I I feel like I wasn't happy. So yeah, so back then I feel like, okay, when I don't have anything pending, anything waiting for me, that's happiness for me.
And yeah, and for me, I'm happy when I find a thrill of doing something new or something that I do it like continuously, like writing. Also, happiness is also the feeling when I feel very positive with myself, like being confident, and when I feel like, oh, I'm pretty or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
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 when I
yeah.
feel something, I find my own happiness in that. So I used to try to do something or something, and then I was like, is it really happiness or is it just like being
Yeah.
satisfied or something? But turns out a simple thing is this something that really makes me happy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think uh, our perception or understanding about happiness in itself, sometimes if we don't get asked, we don't define the happiness itself.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah. We never like, okay, happiness for me is, but when we're talking about the subject, we come up, so what is happiness for us? Okay. So, and I think the foundation of the perception of a lot of things, not about happiness, is based on our society or our circle. So, starting off with our family, and then also the like institutions we are in, neighboring. I don't know, do people still close with their neighbors? But I think extended family also
Yeah.
supplies, and also friends, circle of friends, supplies the foundation about our perception of a lot of things. And I think all of your definition of happiness, I think it's like it's good. It's not a very superficial happiness about wanting to be rich and everything. Uh, and I'm not saying that there's a right or wrong definition of
Yeah.
happiness, but it needs to fit about how we use that happiness in our life. So before we talk about is life really about being happy after we know about being what happiness is, I think we should talk about our experiences or the impacts of our perception about happiness itself. It doesn't have to be from ourselves. Maybe you see a lot of people pursuing certain happiness because I see a lot of people in my trainings or I do consultations and from observation, like people in general, people don't show they are happy. It's like the template of facial in expression is like when we're for example when we're waiting in line when we buy coffee or we in a restaurant or we gather
Their
something.
default faces
Yeah,
are
it's
not
not
happy
happy.
faces.
Yeah, it's like so burdensome, but again it's my perception because like and yeah and younger generations feels like I see like why do they like walk talk and then especially walking like when we're not interacting with other people it feels like you have this burden in your life because I'm not that happy go lucky person. I'm not happy all the time, but like a lot of times I think my template like my my worst template is when I'm working or thinking hard. So it's like I make this face. People around me tell me like I make this uncomfortable face that why are you why is your face like that, right?
Maybe from that phenomenon we can see that when people are chasing their happiness, in the process they have to go through all this, working, earning money, or achieving something. In those process, they don't enjoy it because it feels like something they have to go through before they
Yeah,
achieve
yeah,
the true happiness.
yeah.
So it's like they're waiting. Okay, I'm waiting for me to be happy. I will be happy after I achieve this, but right now I haven't achieved this, so
Yeah.
I don't think I'm happy right now. So that's why you see people, frowning or
Yeah, that's the word
being,
I'm looking for.
yeah, being bitter to each other. If you have ever been in Jakarta public transportation,
Yeah,
like in
that's what I'm saying.
Transjakarta station, you will know how, you know, how unhappy people are.
Yeah,
Yeah, they you know
and the
they,
vibe
yeah, the vibe is very scary. They shout to each other, and they get into the bus very in a hurry.
is.
So I think, what is it? The process itself, because no, no, no. I think the their definition of happiness has made them, you know, going through this process that makes them not happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For example, if your happiness is to have a home, not doesn't have to be a big home or a big house, but like a comfortable house with your own name on it on the paper. In this economy, it's going to be very difficult. So you are going to have to work very very hard to earn the money to buy the house, and during those process you will experience a lot of failures. You will
Yeah.
experience a lot of ups and downs, especially when the, what is suku bunga in Indonesia, in English,
like rate.
yeah,
Yeah.
when the rate is going up, you apparently you cannot afford the house you've been dreaming of, so you will be stressful, and then you, yeah, you don't have your house, and then you are not happy. I think that's why, you know, people
Yeah.
default faces are scary.
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't mean, what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time, but at
Yeah.
least feel comfortable about yourself,
Yeah.
being confident. That's why when we're talking about a purpose, if you have a purpose, because that's the majority of people. But I see a lot of people like using their time when they're in public transportation, or they're reading and something, and they give off this vibe of ease and confidence. So it's not being a victim of the situation. Yeah, because it's not the I think they don't think about like, why do I have to live this life each and every day for this little sum of money that I get every at the end of the month. So it's a very common, yeah, right? It's a very common thing. So that's why I brought up the subject. It's not about like you have to be happy all the time, but finding that how to use happiness. I think how to use happiness in life, and understanding about the mindset of happiness itself, our definition of happiness, and what is the impact of this happiness mindset, like the pursuit of happiness. Even in the movie itself, the pursuit of happiness, the actual happiness that he wants is not having a lot of things, but having a certainty for his son.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's the common thing, and how he tried to not to pressure the like the struggling conditions, how not tried so hard for it not to affect his son.
Yeah.
Although he feels like he feels extremely down and don't know what to do, but tries not to. Yeah, I'm being sidetracked. So, what is the impact of this happiness mindset that you see? Maybe when you are evolving to this definition of happiness, have you ever had experiences? Because that I experienced it when I started working, I think. Because I'm quite easygoing person, but when I was working with a lot of responsibilities and everything, I find myself enjoying having to be this executive of a multinational company. But at the same time, when I am a lot of times, I feel that I continuously confirming that I am unhappy, because the state of happiness itself is having a more relaxed job with a more high paying financial gain, I think. So yeah, maybe you can share your experience, or what is the impact of this perception of
I see. Okay, so for me, the impacts of uh, the perception of happiness, just like what I said in the beginning, happiness for me is when I feel content and I can fulfill all my needs. And if I keep that perception and chasing my happiness, I would be a very selfish person where all I care about would be fulfilling my needs and do what I like, because what's important is my peace of mind. So if I chase my happiness, and I think that's the most important thing in my life, I would be at home watching TV, not interacting with anyone, and then fulfilling my needs, shopping online. That's
That seems so comfortable.
yeah, that's really comfortable.
That's very easy.
And that's the first one. I would be very selfish because all I think about is myself. And the second one is I would be stagnant. For me, growing is doing things with and for other people, and doing things I'm not good at. So if I chase happiness, I would only do things for me and with me, and I would only want things to go as I want. So yeah, I would never help anyone outside of my family. I would refuse the things that I'm not good at. So I would be in my own little bubble, feeling comfortable and not doing anything very significant or important. So I will not grow, and I will not understand other people. I will not understand the world going on around me. So that's why I think that's the two things that's going to happen if I chase my happiness. That's why I think life is not about chasing happiness for me. It's about serving your purpose, serving your function for your surroundings, for the people around you, and you know you create your own happiness. You make yourself happy by being grateful. Yeah, I have a
Very important.
yeah, that's right. I have a house, I have a family that is very close to each other. So I have my health, and thinking of those things makes me, feel very happy and grateful to the universe, to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's highly important because like being grateful make us want to come out or get out of that stagnant situation
Yeah.
because we want to explore more.
That's
So I think to make it more relatable, so if you find yourself not wanting, like Farah's case, like continuously trying to find this convenience of doing things that you like a lot of the time, especially if you're in gap year or in the
Yeah.
phase like looking for jobs but not having jobs right now and everything. You don't have to be productive. You don't have to have a job first to be productive.
Yes.
You don't have to be to wait for developing yourself when you have a career.
Yeah.
You can start now. So that is, I think, one of the impact of the happiness mindset, like pursuing happiness mindset.
I think I have like similar opinions with Kamara because I think the impact of we are pursuing happiness, it can lead us to another perspective of happiness. That happy is like having fun, enjoying life, and I think like doing everything that you feel comfortable and you feel peace is like when you're laying down and you're feeling peace, that's your happiness, and just keep doing that, like that, and then like it needed us to like work hard to achieve something. So I think like that's perception of like having fun and like happiness is like the pursuit of that goal. And I think from my experience, I also experienced when the college is getting packed and then I have to be at college at like 7:30 and it's giving me like the breakfast. And I think it reminds me a whole day when I start the day like sad and not happy. It would like influence my day to be like what not energetic and everything, and the result is not good. But one day I started to thinking like, am I to be like that? And how about putting a smile and then doing your day with confidence? And the result is good. It's like giving me energy to do something, and it's like giving me positive vibes, giving me positive energy to throughout the day. So we're not pursuing happiness, but I think we
create and use that happiness for our purposes, right? For our goals. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Also, because from me, my father always told me that if you wake up in the morning, please smile because it happens to be like it makes you feel positive to start your day.
Yeah.
So the same thing like Vida did, like when I was in the first year of my college, I was like, well, this is so stressful. I hate waking up in the morning and everything. But turns out when I do it, enjoying myself or doing something every day, it's in a positive energy. It became happiness. Like I enjoying the process of making up my own assignment and etc. Also, the impact of the the impact is I think blaming other people because like we when we pursuing our happiness we tend to blaming other people. Like when we achieve something and then the other people get a better result, better result than us, it become like something like, oh, it's because they are smart, they're more clever than us, and etc. And then we blame them because yeah, it's not because me lacking, but it's because they are more than me and some kind like that. And also yeah, like they're richer than mine and etc. And it start like that.
Yeah. And I think one of the impact of the perception of pursuing happiness is the being constantly, like you guys said, being constantly unsatisfied became the norm. So it's normal. So it's okay not to be happy or state that I'm not in a, I haven't found my happiness yet. So it's like, it's not good, I think. And the second is like the instant culture, especially instant rewards, instant gratification culture, because we do things because we want to get that happiness. So we don't get that, like Pamita said, when we don't get the results, other people get better results, then we consider it as an unhappy experience, a bad experience. Whereas, whether we talk about failure in the third episode, so whether we find like we win on a competition or we get good grades, but the process of learning itself, the process of understanding about the competition, preparing ourselves to do something, it's a it's a good experience, right? So we can evaluate and we know where we do things wrong, where we can develop, where we can improve, etc. And I think the third is like Farah said, we became easily influenced by other people. We feel annoyed when we are um, busily or leisurely watching a movie, and then like our siblings probably like, can you help me with this? Can't you see I'm distracting right now? And then we quarrel and everything. Like it's going to be like a lot of bickering at home if everyone is trying to defend their own happiness, right? Like I have to get my happiness. I have to get my happiness. So no compromises whatsoever. And like Farah said, it's being ungrateful for the things that we need to be grateful for. Like when you put a higher standard about what would be required to make you happy, then uh, constantly having less than that made us not grateful about what we have. Being able to breathe, to speak, to actually have interactions with other people, and hopefully, like COVID-19 brought out more gratefulness within us because of those limitations and everything. But probably for the introverts, it's like we're doing, we're from home.
Glorified. Becomes glorified.
So yeah, so I think it's an insightful discussion when we talk about this because, like you said, for me myself, I think life is not really about chasing happiness, but like you guys said, it's like we can create that happiness, and why we create that happiness because we need that situation of ourselves to be able to um, like lessen the barriers towards success and towards achievement. So imagine, so like Famita said, if to, we have to go to school, we have to go to work each and every day. So why not do it happily instead of continuously like cursing every single thing, every single thing we could possibly blame, like when we're late and then the transportation is too packed, the traffic is too heavy and everything, and then turns out it's raining and we're riding motorcycle. Nothing will happen. Nothing right will happen if we continue to do that. But if we keep on creating this happy mindset or this happy situation within ourselves. So any kind of things that comes our way will be more acceptable, more enjoyable, right? So it's not like we're not draining ourselves emotionally. Yeah. So any tips? I think it's easy to say. It's not always easy to do,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So you can you like share maybe your experience? Like you said, you feel the difference when you wake up with a smile and then and not, right? I think I've had that experience too. Right? Yeah. Okay. Any other things that we want to discuss about this happiness mindset? So what do you think? Do you live to chase happiness?
I think I still do.
Okay.
No, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's not like chasing, but it's like I'm trying to be happy.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah,
For me, I've never think about that.
yeah.
Like you said before, like when this discussion happened, I just think about it. I don't know if I actually pursuing happiness or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's fine. So these are the different opinions that we have when we have this discussion. And I think I want to close off. How many minutes is this? 27. So this is going to be the fastest. So I think we can explore more about this happiness, like creating happiness and using for our self development. I think that is one of the things that we can highlight, that you can use your emotions, you can use. We need to have a topic about identifying emotion and managing emotion, right? Right. I think that's another topic that we can talk about. I think knowing the condition, probably it doesn't have to be a full state of happiness, but having this balance of like, yeah, the balance emotion, knowing that you have responsibilities, you have problems, you have challenge, but at the same time you can keep yourself sane. You're not going insane because of those things, and you're not putting out your blame to others or situations, but trying to find ways to actually figure out the solutions and also compromising with other people, understanding the situation. And I think we need some state of happiness or balance within ourselves. So it's not about chasing happiness, but using the state of happiness that we define by ourselves to boost our productivity, to pursue our purpose in life, to be a better person in the society, to bring value to other people, and a lot of things. I think that is my take on this, because, like, for me, I think my happiness right now in my current phase in life is actually to give value to other people, having purpose and multiple goals or targets. So I love a lot of projects, like purposeful projects. So it's not just like let's do a lot of things, but it needs to make sense to me, and exploring new things. Like Clara said, if we are trying to always keep our little comfortable happy bubble, then we find ourselves we just want to stick with the things that we are good at. Yeah. So if we're good at in academics, so we don't want to explore to a more practical things. Like when we start off doing video editing, that is a lot of outside of a lot of people's comfort zone, because in our mind those are um for like IT people. Like those are for yeah,
Creative people
creative,
who works in
yeah,
creative industry.
yeah, and technical people. Because we know people like that who
Yeah.
can easily like video editing. I mean, in our head, video editing is something
Very
like
complicated.
complicated,
Yeah.
not easy, and turns out when we tried it out, and turns out, and turns out when we tried it out, it's not as complicated as we think it is. And almost everyone we know, especially the sisters, right, can do video editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like the brothers here can also do that. So yeah, that's that. Because we are those very academic people. Aside from Famita, Famita is very creative. For us, we are like in this academic bubbles. Like we learn, we can teach, we can like explore things, we can do research, we can talk about things like this. But like to be able to be a very hands-on creative and actually do things, like never crossed our mind to make tables or like to do video editing because like whatever for. But when COVID came and then we make a YouTube channel for our community, then it's like that we need to do a lot of video editing that one or two people cannot do. So we need to learn. Each and every one of us needs to learn. So that happens. So I think that's the state of happiness when doing that, doing it together. Keep us from being stagnant or be in the bubble that we on the field that we are in. Yeah, and I think we may pursue happiness, but like give room for the perception to grow.
Yeah.
Like give room to like listening to this. Probably you're thinking like it doesn't mean we cannot chase happiness. Yes, that's fine. That's okay. We can chase happiness, but give room for the definition of happiness to grow, and also give room for your perception to grow to another, to bigger things, alternative things. It doesn't have to be like I have to find something better, something better, something better. Like just be it's be open minded and in a good way. I mean, yeah. Okay, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, any closing statements about happiness or the things you found out because of this discussion about happiness that you didn't know before? Yeah, probably. Who wants to go first?
Okay. I don't have a too long closing statements, but um, from this whole discussion, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't be happy because we said that life is not about chasing happiness. It's not. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be happy. It means that you should make yourself happy while serving your purpose and function. Yeah, you create your happiness by being grateful for the things that you have, by being grateful for your health, for the people around you, for your ability to have a purpose, for your ability to help others and be useful. So even even though you don't have the things that you want, you have all the things that you need. So yeah, and by being grateful, you can realize that thing. You can realize that you have everything you need. You are not what is it? You are not left being craving for the things you need, but you already have all those things, and that is one form of happiness, I think.
Yeah. What about you guys?
For me, being happy, happiness is not only like bigger things about something that being rich, being the richest person, or having this or having that, but it came for something small, like Afara said. It can be something like you can eat chocolate tomorrow, or you can eat, or you can drink something, or even bread. And also, before I came here, I listened to a lot of podcasts about being happy. So it is that important for a lot of people. So I think people tend to say that they are unhappy because they think they are unhappy.
Mm.
So, yeah, and they don't like try to create that happiness for themselves. Also, for me, happiness these days is like I still have something to do. I still have responsibility that I have uh, I have to done, or like maybe this PDF, or also my
Yeah, Famita is in charge in another segment of our channel, so look for it. What is it? Look out for it.
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
Wait for it.
and also it's not only happiness is not only about gaining something and finally achieve something, but it's also can the process it's also can be a happiness. It's just like because we dislike the overwhelmed emotion during the process, it can be something like makes you feel unhappy, but it's actually if we enjoying that overwhelmed emotion, it can be something that makes us happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, talking about from multiple state, we know that happiness is not only about physical things, but like fulfilling our mental capacity and also fulfilling our personality. So about happiness also, and I think yeah, it could be the source of our happiness in our life. And yeah, I think it's not about we're pursuing happiness, but we're creating that happiness to do things to make our life more purposeful.
Yeah. Yeah, so to close this off, I think, so the sound is on. Okay. I'm doing this to anticipate the sound from outside. So I think from our discussion, we can conclude that we have different perception about happiness, the definition of happiness itself, and it's fine, and our mindset about happiness itself. Some of us agree that we don't have to chase happiness in life. And some of us may say that no, we need to find our happiness. And on that note, please be mindful about the